Good morning. How is everybody? So you're the people that decided to weather the storm. Kevin and I were driving here, and actually it was very, very stormy as we were driving, as we went through a certain area, and then it just cleared up as we got closer here. But as we were driving here, Kevin was like, "What do you think? 5, 10 people?" But you made us wrong, because there are 12. No, but I want to say hello to everybody online, too. It has been an incredible 48 hours, 72 hours, however it's been since we've been dealing with this idea of a storm, of a hurricane moved into a tropical storm, turning into a dusting of sprinkling here. But we want to bless everyone everywhere that has been impacted by Hilda. Hilda, right? I like Hilda. By Hillary, of course it's Hillary, yes. But the interesting thing for our family is that Nora, today is Will and Nora's birthday. And we took Will out for his birthday last night with Emily as her belated birthday. And Will reminded us that Nora loved rain. She was so weird that way. When it was dark and cloudy, she's like, "Oh, Dad, don't you just love this weather?" I'm like, "No, I do not." But she loved it. And storms, when it would like thunder and storm, most little girls would want you to come in and hold them. She'd be at the window watching. And it just really was exciting last night to think about that on her birthday, projected a tropical storm. We were like, well, that makes sense, doesn't it? So anyway, hello to everybody out there. We have a special event today. So our theme this month is adventure, and I know you get to talk about that today, Julio. But our theme is adventure, and one of the big adventures of this center is about to leave and move to New York City and start a long overdue relationship with Broadway as a composer, lyricist, actress, director, all those things. She's an amazing, talented woman, but this is her last day with us. And while we were saying goodbye to her this week, we realized we could probably get her at least for a half hour of today before she moved off to go packing. So we got her to she takes our adventure into the world with her. So please welcome Margaret Owens. Look. Yay. So do you want to say something before we start?
What? You're giving me the mic?
I'm giving you a moment.
I just want to, I just want to say thank you very much for supporting me and loving me in this for like 18 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you excited?
Yes. Yes. But, packing for a month, you're like, I just want to be there.
But do you know what an amazing thing it is for someone to decide to just pick up and move and go after what they know they want?
Yes. Yes, I said I'm not dead yet. And my kids are gone, and I'm not dead. It's time to go.
Yeah.
And I got a BA from UCLA.
She got a bachelor's degree from UCLA. That was the first time when she said, "I'm going to go to college." We're like, okay. Then she got her bachelor's degree and she's writing such amazing music, so we're going to follow you. So I invite you. Oh, wait, is anybody here for the first time today? Nope? Great. Then everybody else stand up. If you are at home in your bed, drinking coffee, whatever, stand up. And Margaret's going to tell us some truth.
Yeah. Here we go.
I see the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright. I see you dripping with abundance and ease. I see you enjoying the life you please. Playful at work and creative. I see the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth of about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright. I know the dreams of your heart want to fly. It's time to spread your wings and give it a try. The love you give, you know you're bound to receive. Your good can only grow the more you believe. Come on now, I know the truth about you. I see the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Your biggest self can't be denied. You got no place to hide because I know the truth about you. I see the truth about you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything. I know the truth about you. I see the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright.
Yes! Oh, how's everybody feeling? And the rest of you? Douglas Draper, it's good to see you. You made it in from the storm. How is the weather out there? It's starting to rain. Good, okay. Good. So we come together every Sunday as a spiritual community to do one thing. You thought you'd get out of this, right? To do one thing and one thing only. What is that? Dave, how'd you answer that? Oh, you answered it in the traditional way. To know that right where I am, God is. How'd you answer it, Julio? The same. We're turning into the Catholic Church. No. How did you answer it? Really? Brad?
To party and have a good time.
To party and have a good time. Anybody else answer it that way? To party. What did you answer, Eric Bork?
To know that right where I am, only God is.
Oh. Do you ever notice he always one-ups no matter what? That's the way he lives his life. I will go a little bit further, just a little bit further, because that's how Abraham does it. So, thank you, Margaret. Okay, we also remind ourselves of our vision statement here. Dr. Liza, thank you for coming. Our vision statement, which is? Love only. So, Robbie, how are you doing with those?
I'm fine with them.
Love only. I mean, you have been love only since I met you. You know, Robbie has been here since Christmas Eve 20 years ago. Wow. Yes. Okay. And what about forgiveness?
It's a little tougher.
Forgiving everything? I've never seen you even angry. Have I ever seen you angry?
Yeah, I don't show it.
Okay. And then remember who you are.
That's a good one. I do that.
You do that. You're very clear of who you are, aren't you? Okay, good. I'm going to do every single one of you this way. Start here. But it is a personal thing. Our vision statement is not just a bunch of words. It's a personal life commitment to live this way, to live from love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And one of the things about forgive everything that I have noticed, it's not, no, I don't want to say that. I was going to say it's not easily done, but it can be easily done. But there are times when it's not easy to forgive something. Anybody? Do you all feel that? It's not easy to forgive something, or it's not easy to forgive someone. And what I have found is that if you just stick with it, and you know that you want to, your intention is to forgive this person, to let it go, to be in a space where radical forgiveness takes over, and that really was nothing in my life. It does eventually make sense. And I have just had one of those where it took me a while to forgive someone, some people. And all of a sudden, I was sitting and I've been working on this, and I treat on this, and I pray on this. I go, and it gets less and less. And then all of a sudden I was like, I have nothing left. I have nothing left. I've moved to the other side. And that's how that works. And that's why these are so important to keep remembering, because when we don't remember who we are, and we don't even remember what we still have unforgiven, we just let it sit there. And whether you know it or whether you know it a lot or not, if it sits there, it's doing something. If it is sitting there, it is active in your life. So, okay, Margaret, come on up. Everybody take a deep breath. You don't have to come up. Oh, wait.
We're changing it up because I'm on this side. I've never been on this side.
Better side is this side.
So that is better for me.
Yeah. You too? Is your better side that side?
I don't know. Which way should I throw my hair? This way, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Are we getting a good shot of this, Thor? Not yet. So anyway, take a deep breath. Vivian, take a deep breath. Just let it out. One of the reasons I come here every Sunday is because I really do want to go deeper in this teaching, in my own life, in my own understanding of this beautiful philosophy. So just give yourself the intention. I'm going to go deeper this morning. I'm going to let myself drop into this beautiful field of energy. Take another deep breath. Close your eyes if you like. Here we go.
I want to go deeper, deeper into love. I want to go deeper, deeper into love. The heart that you gave me guides me toward the divine as I go deeper, deeper into love.
Love is an energy. Love is an atmosphere. It's a consciousness. It's who I am, what I am. To go deeper into that energy, that consciousness, means to be willing, to allow more, to feel more, to understand more, to be more. Because love is the fullness of life. And that's what we go deeper into.
I want to go deeper, deeper into truth. I want to go deeper, deeper into truth. The heart that you gave me guides me toward the divine as I go deeper, deeper into truth.
Someone once said, and I can't remember who, don't hold onto your truths too tightly, for tomorrow they may be falsehoods. If I want to go deeper into truth, I want to drop into a field of not knowing. I know nothing. Now what can I know? What is true in this moment in my life? A truth so deep, so pure, so innocent that it cannot be understood just by the mind. It must be understood by the heart.
I want to go deeper, deeper into service. I want to go deeper, deeper into service. The heart that you gave me guides me toward the divine as I go deeper, deeper into service.
If you would take a deep breath right now. And I have a question for you. How can I be used by this beautiful universe? What is yours to do in this world right now? It could be as simple as knowing who I am so clearly that it affects every relationship I'm in. Service starts with the self. So how can you be used to your highest and best? Just breathe into that.
I want to go deeper, deeper into love. I want to go deeper, deeper into love. The heart that you gave me guides me toward the divine as I go deeper, deeper into love. I want to go deeper, deeper into love. Let me go deeper, deeper into love.
Take a deep breath. And let's say thank you to Margaret Owens. I'm going to miss that. So, okay. And now let's bring up Julio Hernandez. Dr. Julio Hernandez. Oh no, a paper bag. Scary.
I'm going to go ahead and start off with what we already know, a gift, right? So,
Oh my God, did you knit this?
yes, I did.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And look at the outfit I'm wearing.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, on my way.
Oh my God, you're the best. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Time for Alaska.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, yes, I can take it to Alaska.
Exactly.
Let me put this away.
Yes, of course.
Wow. I meant to send you an email saying, you don't have to bring me a gift, but if you like to.
Yeah.
I'm really loving
as
it.
that-
It actually has kind of this feel to it too. Right?
Works.
Yeah, if I was a drag queen. So, okay,
Yes.
what's our theme?
Adventure.
And?
Adventure.
No, how does that play out in your life?
So when I was thinking of adventure, I was thinking oh wait, so do I have to book a trip or think
Okay.
about all these things that going outside
Right.
of myself or going somewhere, having to do these things. But adventure, having to go back into self, like you just said, right? Adventures are starting with the self, starting with taking care of yourself, starting with going inward and exploring yourself and taking care of you.
Yeah.
Because it's really important to take care of all of the stuff within you. And even my work as a therapist as well, doing that with people and myself as well to resolve all of the past traumas, past things,
Right.
to take care of that and then be better to help provide service to others.
Other people. Yeah, it's funny with you saying that because people think of adventure and they think they have to go an adventure somewhere. I mean, how many people are going to Alaska? Raise your hands. Look at that. Tons. Excellent. Yeah, we have, what do we have, Thor? How many people going to Alaska? 53 people going to Alaska. And here's the thing, there's going to be a lot of adventure on there, but the real adventure comes in, how does it connect to the adventure that you are inside of you? So yeah, I agree. I think we can have just as much adventure in our conscious mind. Have you ever been around people who are just so full of life? Everything they do is an adventure?
Yeah.
They're annoying. No. I say that because it is. Kevin and I were once around this person in the early days. I don't think that would affect me this way anymore. Remember that guy? He was just so, everything was like, oh my God, water from your tap. That's awesome. It's that kind of thing, and you're like, I'm going to hit you any second. But he really genuinely was like that. And that was his adventure. And I think I was annoyed mostly because I didn't feel that way about the water in my tap.
And it's about, like you talk about, the childlike joy.
Yes.
Correct, right? Like that
Innocence.
childlike, that innocence, and knowing that, and finding that joy in the mundane, right? And finding that joy in everyday things, and remembering that joy, and remembering that there is adventure there is joy, there is joy in that, and then also finding the gratitude in that, and which leads to gratitude, right? So.
And you have a lot of adventure at school, don't you?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
I mean, what is that like, being a vice principal? You're a vice principal,
Yeah,
right?
vice principal.
So of a high school?
I'm actually now at a middle school, so I'm at a new school. So.
Oh, middle school, 6th,
Yeah.
7th, and 8th.
Yes.
So these kids, what do they come running into you with?
They come running, and they come running and yelling and screaming. So yeah, like it's a lot of energy, a lot of bundles of energy, and yeah, it's fun. I worked 11 years.
How long have you been doing this?
As assistant principal, about 15 years. Yeah.
Wow.
And I was
do
at
you find
11
time to
years.
knit?
Middle school. Yes.
This is so beautiful. These colors are just amazing. These are like my favorite colors, aren't they, Kev? And I happen to just wear them all today.
Yeah. It works.
That's great. So they all just come running at you, and
Yeah, there's a lot of energy, a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming. One of my colleagues who just started working at a middle school, I told her, I said, just get ready for the screaming for no reason, yelling, where they just screaming. But it's fun, and it's just a matter of just trying to regulate a little bit of the energy. But it's fun.
I went to Milliken Middle School.
Mm-hmm.
I went over. I didn't go there. I went there to teach. I went to Milliken Middle School, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and I was teaching. I was taking over a dance class. Someone asked me to do it as a favor, and would you come and teach like West Side Story dances? So I thought, oh, these kids are going to love me. Oh my God, it was a class of 40 kids. And I'm just trying, and basically the whole time they were just screaming and running around, and I was trying so hard not to be like strict, but after a while I turned into Jerome Robbins, and I was just like, sit! Did you ever have to do that?
Yeah, but it's just sometimes you have to just kind of help guide the energy, right? Like,
Yes.
and help like lead them, like, and just kind of stay present and just stay firm.
But that's what we do in life.
Mm-hmm.
We guide the energy. We have to focus our energy where we want it to go.
Yeah.
So you're just doing the same thing you do as a practitioner,
Yeah.
as a vice principal. Wow. So you were in a high school.
I was at a high school.
Now you're in middle school. You're going to eventually go to grade school. Is that the direction we're going?
I've done both, so I've been going back and forth. So they needed me at a middle school again. So
what do you like the best? Grade, middle, high school?
they're different. I like both. They're both different.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
good.
fun. They're both-
Well, this is so beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, you're
So
welcome.
shall we do our affirmation?
Of course. So I'm going to say it once myself, and then we'll say it twice together. So it is, I say yes to an adventurous life.
And do you?
Yes.
Yes?
I do. Yes.
Yes? Definitely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
All right. So now we'll say it together.
I say yes to an adventurous life. Do you all? Really? Let me hear a yes again. Robbie, I didn't hear a yes. Are you saying yes to an adventurous life? Okay, do it this time. Okay, here we go. Here we
All
go.
right. You guys want to stand up?
Yeah, let's stand up. Robbie, stand up. You don't have to play the piano. Good. Okay, here we go. Here we ready, Robbie? Okay, here we go.
All right.
I say yes to an adventurous life. Now, see, didn't that feel good? How'd that feel?
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give it up for Julio. Okay. Oh, no, I'm going to keep this on for now. It feels really warm. Nice. Okay. Now we have, as a departing song to us, Margaret Owens is singing the song I asked her to sing because it's one of my, it's hard to have favorites with her songs, but it is one of my favorite songs she sings. So here is, you won't have a slide for this because we just picked it up this morning. So here is Margaret Owens to sing, don't tell me, I'm just going to say, God's got her fingerprints all over me, but I think it's called God's Fingerprints. Here's to sing God's Fingerprints, Margaret Owens.
I don't care what they say, everyone finds their own way. No one knows how it goes, standing there within your clothes. I find it superfluous, trying to be virtuous. Bone and flesh, hot hell yes. Ask me and I must confess that I'm not made of stone or plaster, but I've been molded by the master. I am fully loaded and equipped, you see. God's got her fingerprints all over me. As above is below, I am perfect, don't you know? God expressing beautifully came to form dressed up as me. My birthright, shine my light. Hope it don't make you uptight. If it do, that's on you. My creator wants me to, and I might be a real rule breaker, but I've been fleshed out by my maker. I am fully loaded and equipped, you see. God's got her fingerprints all over me. I don't worry anymore about what you say. I can't get there if I have to go your way. My own compass works just fine. Me trusting me equals divine. And I ain't got no time for haters, 'cause I am one with my creator. I am fully loaded and equipped, you see. God's got her fingerprints all over me. They're all over me. I'm letting it be. God's got her fingerprints all over me.
Margaret Owens. Okay, so there's a lyric in that song that I'm going to start with that I just absolutely love, and it's this. I'm fully loaded and equipped to see. God's got her fingerprints all over me. So are you fully loaded? Yes. Oh, who said that? So Liz is the only one in this room who's fully loaded. What did you drink? No, the understanding, I am full of who I am. I am absolutely certain of who I am, and I am equipped. I am ready to live my life out loud. How many people are there? Yeah. Yes. How many people want to be there? How many people are going there? Right? So I'm fully loaded and equipped to see that God's got her fingerprints all over me. And another line I loved was, I might be a real rule breaker. You know, I like that one. I might be a real rule breaker, but I've been pressed out by my maker. Now, we don't really deal with life in terms of saying my maker, you know, my as though God made me. But something is constantly making everything, right? So that something that is making everything is who I am. I am that something that is making everything. So I am the maker of my life, certainly, and every life that works around me. So this idea of being a rule breaker is kind of where I want to go today. And the individuality of fingerprints, the individuality that each one of us has. Because this month is all about adventure, right? So, but it's about adventure, and I love, Julio set me up so perfectly. It's about adventure, but it's not about an adventure. It's about the atmosphere of the consciousness of adventure, the lifestyle of adventure. How many people would say that their lifestyle is adventurous? Good. Every hand should go up. Mindy, what'd you say? It's not. But you want it to be, right? Yes, good. So, and it's good if you know you're not, if that's not been my lifestyle. My lifestyle is, some people's lifestyle is to get through life. Some people are here to just hanging in there. And you know what I say to people when I say, how you doing? Hanging in there, I say, let go. Let go. You gotta. Because it's not gonna work if you're just hanging on, hanging in there. You have to be willing to have this adventurous nature. Your fingerprints, everybody knows, right, that your fingerprints are the only fingerprints in the universe. One set. Glenda has one set of fingerprints, and there's no set of fingerprints alike. Isn't that bizarre, though? If you really think about it, it shows the infinity of life. There's never two of anything. It's just constantly one. Moving, expanding. So if you have fingerprints unlike anybody else, why would you want a life like anybody else? Why would you try to have a life like anybody else? And here's the thing. I know you're all here, so most of you are here because you are in this philosophy, and what this philosophy teaches us is that we are the individualization of God. We are the individualized expression of this energy field, this quantum field of creativity. Individualized. So then why, if we are the individualization of an infinite power, would we try to be like anybody else? Why? It really doesn't make sense. And I believe that trying to fit in, to be like everybody else, causes a lot of the tension, causes a lot of the stress, and a lot of the negative aspects of consciousness that holds us back. And that's what I want to talk about today. So the title of my talk is, Whose Adventure Is It Anyway? Now, do you all remember the Broadway show? I'm sure you do. Whose Life Is It Anyway? It was an amazing Broadway show. I think it won the Pulitzer, definitely won the Tony. And it was about someone they were keeping alive and didn't want to be alive anymore and was fighting for the right to end that person's life. So this title is sort of a take on that. Do we have the right to have the adventure that we want to have? Yes, we do. But are you doing it? Are you taking it? So whose adventure is it anyway? Whose life are you living right now? I know you're going to say you're living your life, but are you living maybe your younger version of yourself's life? Meaning, somewhere along the line, you thought this is what you should be doing by now, so you're still living that dream or that aspiration or that design? How many people are still living, you don't have to raise your hands, how many people are still living designs that were designed way back here when perhaps I had a different version of life? Are we willing to stay fluid, to stay open to stay in the atmosphere of permission, giving ourselves permission to have whatever adventure we decide we want to have? She has a line in the song that says, I can't get there if I have to go your way. Does anybody feel that way sometimes? I can't get there if I do it your way. And how often in your life are you being asked to do it a certain way? And it's difficult sometimes when you don't see it that way. Even in education, children learn in many different styles. Some people learn by what they see, some people learn by what they hear, some people auditory, so many different versions. And yet, when I was growing up, those nuns in those Catholic schools, there was one way you were going to be taught. And if you don't get it, sit in the back. And I have a really funny story. So there was a day and in geography class, Sister Mary Margaret and I could not find Africa on the map. And the more, it's pretty big too, and the more she tried to get me to find it, the harder it was to see anything. And I ended up having to kneel in front of the map for the rest of the class because I couldn't find Africa. And then you can't find Africa because you're crying. And your tears, are you feeling sorry for me right now? Liza went, nope. I had Sister Michael Margaret too. So yeah. So, but people try so hard to get you to do it the way they would do it, which is not necessarily mean, because people that know how to do something tell you to do it their way because they're pretty sure it'll work. But it won't work if Stan does it my way. Right, Stan? No way. Let's not be too adamant about that. So the real question is, are you doing things your own way? And you know what? Are you taking the risk? This is Adventure Month. Are you willing to take the risk to do it your way? How many times? So many times with Kevin. Kevin is a front seat driver. When he's sitting in the passenger seat, he very often tells me what I should do, how I should drive, where I should park. Right? And just yesterday.
How to do it better. Yeah. There you go.
So yesterday, I saw this great parking place. He goes, no, James, there's tons down there. But there was this great parking place. And I drove down there, and then I was like, why do I do that? Why do I even listen to you when I know that that was the better parking space, which he agreed to. He went, no, you were right. But very often I acquiesce, not just to Kevin, because that's very seldom, but I acquiesce to the world or to what. I remember when Dr. Walker said to me, you know, if you're going to be a minister, you got to give up all this play stuff. And I was like, he said, you can't be an actor anymore. You just be a minister. And I was like, that doesn't seem right. That just doesn't seem right. And he said, that's how it works. Because he did that. Dr. Walker gave up his lucrative career as a singer. He was an amazing singer. And he never sang at church, ever, because he was a minister. He's not a singer anymore. That's how he did it successfully. That would kill me. That would not work for me. But I know that. So what did I do? I bought a theater to open a church in, just to piss him off. And it worked well. And I love this too, the other line that Margaret has in this song. My own compass works just fine. Let's all say that. My own compass works just fine. How's that feel? Right? So instead of everybody telling me, my own compass works just fine. And I always say, even if I get lost, and I have been known to get lost, driving or walking for that matter. In fact, I'm going to see how I do on the ship this time, because you all remember the story where Kevin just stopped because I was leading, and I just kept walking till I hit a dead end. And I turn around, and he's at the other end of the corridor laughing hysterically because it was a dead end. But I wouldn't have seen all the pictures on the people's doors if I'd not gone down a dead-end road. So I always say, you are always unfolding perfectly no matter what. So my compass works just fine. And let's add a little no matter what to that. Does that work? Okay. So for me, the big thing is this. Your adventure is your adventure. Scott, your adventure is not Marilyn's adventure. And Marilyn's adventure is not your adventure. And yet you can take a vacation together and have different adventures. How many husband and wives here, or boyfriends and girlfriends, or anybody that goes with couple anywhere, perhaps you're in the middle of a vacation and you'd actually like to do something different than the group is doing that day. Anybody have that experience? What do you do most of the time? Go along with the group. Yeah. And if you don't, because your partner may be saying, you have to go, this is what I want to do. Compromise. We're just living our whole marriage here in front of you today. Compromise is important in relationships. But if you're compromising your own desires with yourself, that doesn't work. Did y'all hear that? Yes, I compromise and Kevin compromises. But we don't compromise our dreams. I mean, I remember when we bought the house here, we finally decided, we moved to California because I wanted to move to California. Instantly, Kevin got Lion King on Broadway. The universe knows what it's doing. at all times. The only way he could have gotten Lion King is if he had moved to Los Angeles, because then they knew he was in LA when they needed someone, and they said, well, Kevin Bailey's in LA. Let's see if he'll work. And he got the job. Back to New York for 4 years. 2 years of Lion King and 2 years of Annie Get Your Gun, right? So the universe knows exactly what it's doing. But you have to know it's your adventure no matter what. So how many of you feel perhaps you may be living an adventure that's not really yours? You don't have to raise your hand. But that's not really your adventure. It's someone else's. Or an idea of what you thought your adventure would be. What if you had, right now in this moment, an opportunity to just look at a list of things and pick any one of them, they would come true? You'd get to live that adventure no matter what, whatever it is. And what if your heart had the capacity to throw all of those desires onto a sheet so that you could see them all clearly and said to you, whichever one, or as Karen likes to say, as Brad likes to say to Karen, as you wish. Whatever you want. You see, we're part of a philosophy that tells us that's how it works. Decide what you want, back it up with belief, and then live it. It's that simple. But you know what you have to do first? Decide what you want. And most of our decisions come from beliefs that sometimes sabotage what we think we want. So, here's the thing about your adventure being your adventure. Nobody has to understand it. Nobody has to agree with it. You don't need to gain approval from anybody about whatever adventure you want to take. I love that Margaret and Eric are picking up and moving to New York City. I guarantee you, Eric, have a lot of people had kind of negative reactions to this?
Not a lot, no.
Well, you have good friends. But usually when...
Face, anyway.
To your face. Oh, let me tell you then, lots of negativity that I hear. No, but very often when we say, I want to do this, people will, in the nicest way, tell you why you shouldn't. Has anybody had that experience? Yeah, where people will say why you shouldn't do this. And nobody needs to understand it. There's this great quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he says this. Is it so bad then to be misunderstood? Pythagoras was misunderstood, and Socrates, and Jesus, and Luther, and Copernicus, and Galileo, and Newton, and ever pure and wise spirit, Galileo, that ever took flesh. And then he said this, to be great is to be misunderstood. So the adventure that you have inside of you is also linked to the greatness that you have inside of you. Greatness produces amazing adventure. The greatness that you are connected to what you are to do in life, who you are to be, now you have it. To be great is to be misunderstood because many people around you will very often say, what the hell are you doing? I remember when I said I was going to be a minister. And Kevin said, what are you doing? And then when I said I wanted to open a church, it was like, why would you give up your career? You just got signed to the biggest agency in Los Angeles, and you want to suddenly turn all out. People thought I was crazy. My father thought I was insane. He was like, why would you give up a very successful career as an actor, and now you're writing and directing, and you're going to be a minister? To do what? It's a lot, just so, to do what? So what I'm asking you today to look at is, what's inside of you? We picked these themes, adventure. What is inside of you that maybe you're not letting out? What adventure is there for you that maybe you're living because it's just the adventure you're used to? And like Julio said this morning, I'm not talking about the adventures out here to do. I'm talking about something inside of you that is bubbling up. To be great is to be misunderstood. So Ernest Holmes said this. Oops, let me go back. Oops. Oh, so let's do my talk from the beginning. The title of my talk today... Oh, wait, what's going on, Thor? Oh, wait, let me go back. Got it. I went the wrong way. There it is, that was it. It is a great adventure to make conscious use of the law. Well, just give some thought to that. This is a really intense, beautiful quote. It is a great adventure to make conscious use of the law. And this I love. This is Oscar Wilde. An optimist will tell you the glass is half full, the pessimist half empty, and the engineer will tell you the glass is twice the size it needs to be. So how does that relate? Quite simply, half full, half empty, all that talks about, all that shows is who you are as a person, what you have become, what your philosophy is, what your beliefs are. If you're somebody that sees everything constantly as half empty, you've just grown up to be that person. That's the personality that Troward talks about. Thomas Troward talks about the personality is our use of this creative process, and we create who we are. So half-empty person. Anybody here a half-empty person? Like you're going to raise your hand. Everybody else is half full. Okay, good. But we don't need to be either, because it's judgmental. It's a judgment, right? It's what?
It's refillable.
Refillable. I'm a half-empty person, but I constantly bring water with me. Right. No, but I love what it says here. The engineer will tell you the glass is twice the size it needs to be. The scientist in you, were you to really lean into the science part of science of mind and really understand this teaching, you would never be half full or half empty. You would know exactly who you were. I was working with someone this week, and I said to them, I said, you know this teaching. You absolutely know it, but you don't go to it as a first go-to. It's your second or third or last resort. That's one of our big problems. If we don't use this teaching as the first thing we go to, something happens, since today's Nora's birthday, when Nora passed, when she was in the accident, the first thing that went into my mind, first thing that came to me was the Emma Curtis Hopkins quote, which now has left my mind. There is no, it's this. There is only God. Oh my God. Well, I don't need it. There's only one life. That is God's life. That is Nora's life now. That's what came to me instantly. Instantly. I said it all night. All night. Thank you, Mindy. There is but one life. That life is God's life. That life is Nora's life now. Now notice what that wasn't saying was, save my daughter. That was not my go-to. My go-to was, I understand life. I understand that whatever is going to happen for her highest and best. And now I'm just going to take this journey, this adventure. And it's about to be 5 years coming up on that. So that's what Oscar Wilde's actually saying. That's the idea. Can you live this teaching? Can you live this science so clearly that your go-to is this science? We play around with reality all the time. But there is a science. If you take judgment out of the equation, if you really take judgment out of the equation, if you take good and bad out of the equation, and you live from a rather impersonal, yet exciting and passionate life, kind of like, I almost said his name, that guy who was so excited about the tap water. And what he really meant was that New York City supposedly had the best tap water. You could drink your tap water. I don't know if that's still the case 20, 30 years later. But to live that kind of life where everything's exciting, everything's good, everything's possible, even sadness, even something that comes up that's disappointing, there's a reason for it. Isn't that what we teach, Stan? We teach that when something comes along that may even give you a major hiccup, we're like, but I know there's good here. I know there is good here. Something good comes from this. That's the teaching. So when Ernest Holmes says using the law is the greatest adventure there is, that's what he's talking about. Using the law. Using inside of you, Hannah, is an understanding, a knowing that my life is unfolding perfectly no matter what. And that's how this goes. So, I have a question for you to think about for a minute. What makes your life your life? Just give it a thought for a moment. What makes your life your life? What have you done with your fingerprints? With your individuality? What makes Lee, Lee? What makes Julio, Julio, Karen, Karen? What makes each one of us who we are? What makes my life, and not Scott Gibbs' life? Do you know the answer? Anybody have an answer to that? Choices. That's the exact answer. Who said that? There you go, Glenda. Choice. Choices. That's it. We all start out as this infinite, gorgeous, beautiful, passionate, wonderful energy. Then we make choices. And little by little, we change and change and change. I have a relative who's been very angry her whole life. And she's at the end of her life right now. And I just showed my son a picture of her that I took. And he was like, oh my God. And I didn't say this to him, but for me, people represent what they're doing with their minds, their consciousness. So if we want to ask ourselves, what makes my life, it's the choices I've made. Not just the wisdom I know, not just the science I've understood, but the choices I've made because of that. So everyone in this room, for the most part, understands this philosophy. It is done unto you as you believe. So you must get in there and figure out, what do I believe? What makes my life, what makes Dr. Liza's life her life? And when you're looking at Liza's life from the outside in, you see a very adventurous woman. I never know where she is in this world. She's always traveling somewhere, doing something crazy, right? Same thing with Dr. Eric. Constant. I never know what state he's in or what country he's in or what house he's in. Because there is an adventurous side to them. There is that. So what makes you, Sherry Verson? These are not questions for the faint of heart, because it really does benefit us to ask that question and ask ourselves, what choices have I been making? And what choices do I want to make going forward? So as I said, the title of my talk is, Whose Adventure Is It Anyway? That question, what makes you, you? What makes your life, is a question I'd like you to play with for the rest of this month. What does make me who I am? And the answer is your choices, but then just take a look at your choices. How many of you have choices you're in the middle of making right now? Anybody? Okay, yeah, I have a number of them. So what will it be? How will you make those choices? Are you going to make those choices based on the facts? Are you going to make those choices based on the past? Are you going to make those choices based on intuition? Or are you going to make those choices based on all of the above? And before you make the choice, tap in. Really tap in. Because there's already an answer. It's already there. It's already right there. So, whose adventure is it anyway? It's your adventure to live out loud, fully, unabashedly, with no qualification and no having to answer to anybody else. Your adventure, Glenda, is your adventure, right? And you get to live it. And I would like to say that this adventure is perhaps one that you haven't really experienced yet. And I'm not talking about you haven't been to China. Something else. It's getting very emotional for me. When Ernest Holmes said that, the greatest adventure is the use of the law. There are desires inside of you that you are ready to fulfill. And there is a law that is ready to play Brad Kiefer in your life and say, as you wish. That's who we are. What does it take to pull up that desire and apply the law and live that thing? What does it take? That's what I want you to find this week, this month, for the rest of this month. Because many of us are on our way to Alaska, to an adventure. And that adventure is going to be amazing. But I want to know this for myself. I've been to Alaska, 6 times now, maybe 5, 6 times. I want to find more of me in this trip. I want every one of us to find more of ourselves as we move through this trip. Whose adventure Is it anyway? It's my adventure, and I get to live it my way, and it's your adventure, and you get to live it your way, because we live in a universe where everything is possible, everything is probable, and all it takes is a resounding yes from you. So let's hear it. And yes! And so it is. Okay, everybody. Let's take a deep breath and just get comfortable right where you are. This is our giving, so I invite you to take out your contribution, your gift. And Robbie, just give me some pretty music. There's that great quote, money is God in action. Money is life in action. What I know is that there is this infinite field, infinite source for all. And as you reach into your generous heart, recognize and know that what you give, you receive. And what you receive, you give. And that the Global Truth Center is here providing for all of us that grounded truth that right where I am, the universe is. And so I just say thank you, and I let it be so, and so it is. I've got a roof over my head. I've got a warm place to sleep. Some nights I lie awake counting gifts instead of counting sheep. I've got a heart that can hold love. I've got a mind that can think. There may be times when I lose the light and let my spirit sink, but I can't stay depressed when I remember how I'm blessed. Everybody. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. Within a city of strangers, I have a family of friends. No matter what rocks or brambles fill the way, I know my friends will stay until the end. There is a power inside you. It's not a thing you can see, but on the road to this journey's end, this love will set me free through delight and despair. Always bright and always there. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. duly
Good morning. It's Sunday, August 20th, and here are your Global Truth Center announcements. Coming up on the calendar, start your weekend on a high note this coming Friday with Soul Immersion, our sound bath experience that takes place on the second and last Fridays of the month. This coming Friday's event starts at 7 p.m., and a love offering will be gratefully accepted at the door. Dr. James's acclaimed class, Mental Muscle, will begin in less than 1 month. This is 16 weeks of spiritual boot camp led on Monday and Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. by Dr. James. You can sign up now for this life-changing class, which begins on Monday, September 11th, and continues through Thursday, December 28th. The life you live in 2024 starts with the work you do this fall. As Dr. James says, do the work, live the results. You can sign up for Mental Muscle right now, and you'll find the link on our calendar page. You can always find out what's going on by visiting our calendar on the website. To find it easily, just use your cell phone on the QR codes you see throughout the sanctuary. Have a fantastic week and stay dry, everyone.
Thank you, Thor. Dr. Eliza, would you come up here for a minute, please? So, we are all going to Alaska. We leave this week. Actually, the ship takes off on next Sunday. But, grab that. So next Sunday,
By the
what?
way, I'm not camera ready. Look at me.
Yes, you are. You look great. You always look good. So next Sunday, the entire service will be handled by Dr. Liza Marquez.
And it's all about an adventure. I am so excited to be up here. It's been a while.
And you have a singer coming next week.
I do. She was with us, I think it was in April, right before Easter. Her name is Charlene Carmen. You've heard her before if you've been here. And she is amazing. And we've picked a really fun, adventurous song to play next Sunday. So I hope that you all will make it, for those of you that will be here. And when do you guys leave?
We leave Sunday. Well, we think we're going to be able to watch live in the morning before we leave.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you can make comments
So shout out to
online.
everybody, yes.
Yeah, you've got a big group. You're taking a big group of people here.
52 people, yes.
That's amazing.
From Palm Springs and here and elsewhere, too.
Yeah, how fun.
Good, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And also, that's next Sunday. The following Sunday, which is when we'll be all coming back. Yes, and Eric Bork is inspiration next week, yes. The following Sunday, Dr. Sue will be coming to give the talk, and Dr. Eric will be running the whole service. So it's going to be very exciting next 2 weeks, so don't miss it. Okay, everybody, take a deep breath. Oh, our Consciousness on Demand today, Becky and Dave. Where are you, Becky? Becky will be in the meditation room, and Dave will take residence down in the counseling office. So please join the two of them, brilliant minds. Let them tell the truth for you. So let's know that this day has unfolded perfectly, that the sun is shining above all of this, and that there is only love at the heart and soul of everything, no matter what. So I know this day continues to unfold perfectly, and I let it be so as we say together, and so it is. Okay, everybody, if you would stand up. So you think there's nothing new under the sun, right, Ro? If it's possible, it's already been done. If you think this stage has all been set, well, think again. Why? You ain't seen nothing yet. Sun will come up with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. Emily Edwards.
So you think you finally made your bed? There's nothing for you down that road ahead. So you think this is as good as it gets? Wanna bet? Ha! smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. Believe it, you will see it. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Whoa, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Whoa, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. No, you ain't seen nothing yet. Whoa, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Sun'll come up with the wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. Believe it, you will see it. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. Hey, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. Hey, you ain't seen nothing. Hey, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Have a great Sunday, everybody. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. No, you ain't seen nothing. Hey, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet.
And that's a wrap.